Facebook.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Merch Money. Today we have Neil Lassen from with Merch Informer on the show as our guest. Yes, so exciting. And we are all like discombobulated. With me, I'm in New Jersey today at a beach house with 30 people. So I'm like in this little bedroom. There's people loud behind me, loud above me. So we'll see how it goes. And I'm using the internet from my cell phone. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, who wants to introduce themselves first? How about Amy? Because she's muted because Amy also is having a lot today.
Yes, I have a bunch of kids in the background, so you know that's the life I have. But yeah, so I'm Amy Springer. Merch Marvel's the nickname, and are we doing our positives right now?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, all right. So my plus for the week is I have PopSockets, and they're selling. People are buying my art.
Woo!
And that makes me really happy. So,
awesome.
PopSockets!
Yay!
And sorry about, I'm going to be muted a lot because my kids are definitely not quiet. So
that is okay.
That's okay. As long as you're here.
Yes.
I'm here and I'm so glad to be here and I'm excited about our guest tonight. So this is cool. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. How about the other Amy?
Hey everyone, I'm Amy Nicholas, known as Marketing Mayhem Girl. And I am grateful and excited just to be in print on demand. I don't know, just every day I'm like, man, there's so many things I could be doing. It's yeah, you always have to focus, on the one thing, but I love that there's a lot of opportunity. And as we get closer to Q4, I feel like I'm running my little race in excitement.
Awesome. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Michelle, go ahead.
I'm Michelle Wentworth, Merch Mama. And my positive this week was being at Boost and chasing Rhett and Link down a hallway to get their picture because I'm such a big fan. I lost all decorum. I was running in a sundress.
Oh my gosh, awesome.
Rhett, Link, I'm a big fan. Can I have a picture? Meanwhile, they were trying to leave. They came in to speak and then they were being escorted out. And yours truly, crazy lady, totally did that. But you know what? My kids thought I was so cool because my kids are big Rhett and Link fans. So I'm the cool merch mama right now.
Yay! Awesome. All right, Bree.
What's up, guys? It's Bree Greene, Merch Maverick, and I would say the highlight of my week has been taking on some new clients and, kind of working with them to design their version of their print-on-demand empire and, getting to know some pretty unique hobbies and backgrounds. That's really cool, a lot of niches and things that I know nothing about. And the other thing that I'm enjoying doing is at D4D, getting to work with actual artists and professional graphic designers that are completely kind of outside of the realm of just directly working with merch. So I'm learning a lot, as well as, seeing some pretty cool stuff in action. So.
Cool.
Awesome. All right, Neil.
My name is Neil Lassen, known as Neil. Okay, so, positive of the week is probably PopSockets as well. Those are selling incredibly well because no one's uploading them. All the niches are pretty much kind of free to take, so to speak.
Yes.
Sweet.
Which is nice to see. And they're so easy to upload. You don't even need to put that many bullet points in there.
Absolutely. And I forgot to say my positive of the week, but it is also PopSockets. So I'm very excited about that. And it's also, I was trying out Penji. I'm about 2 weeks into trying them out. And so far I've been really happy with it. And I've been having them make PopSockets and it's been selling. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated, but so far so good. So
how many PopSockets do you have up? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh gosh. I didn't count. I mean, it's not a tremendous amount. I would say probably like 50, maybe.
Okay.
That's good though.
Yeah, something like that.
Helen, I was going to ask too, are you utilizing designs you already have up, or are you having them?
Yes. Of the brand new designs from Penji, it's only 3 from Penji. But I kind of went through all my designs, and all of them that I felt like would look good on a pop socket, I put those on the pop sockets. Yeah.
If you have the slots, I would put up everything. Some of the like ugliest things I've ever seen in a pop, because when you put them down like super small, they look terrible. I think they look bad. Still.
So are you saying like are tags selling, or because I heard like a lot of people like the more graphic designed ones with like.
See, I'm selling both. So I've been throwing up like a lot of the textured designs, and those are really hard to describe. Like after the 5th one, you're like, what do I call it? It's a red triangle. Like,
I know. I've been like
That's
skipping my bullets because it's like, what do you put in there? I put everything in my title, and then it's like, what do I put in there? So half of them I haven't even been using the bullets, which is probably stupid. But
Copy and paste your title and your bullet.
Well, see, what I've been doing is I always fill out the bullets simply because I didn't a long time ago, and it worked, and then it stopped working, and I had to go back and edit and and put in the bullet points. So I decided I'd rather take a little bit more time now and put the bullet points in there. Even if I only have a few keywords in there, I mean, most people are skipping the bullet points. I feel like that gives me a slight edge.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I think so too. I just made myself an easy template that like I can literally just change out a couple of words and everything's cut and paste from there. So
what do y'all think? Like 2 or 3 keywords in the bullets separate from the brand and title?
I'm kind of reusing the same ones in the title and putting maybe 1 or 2 extras. So like maybe 4 keywords max, but it's kind of hard again with like patterns, because with t-shirt designs, I can just open up the listing I already have live and say, okay, these are the keywords I use. I know these work because they're selling. Let's just use the same ones. But for the patterns, I'm kind of just, I don't know, experimenting because I don't know the names of these patterns. I'm not very artsy.
Me either. I just been like putting yellow, blue, green, pink.
Yeah.
Like, what do you, I don't know.
Is psychedelic a keyword?
I used that on one. I didn't sell it yet, but I did use it.
I like to use
Psychedelic?
Yeah.
Trippy.
I've been using trippy too. And
Trippy
I've sold
works.
a couple of my trippy ones.
Groovy. Is that a word?
Trippy.
Trippy works. It works well. You know, back when you could put anything up on merch by Amazon, they didn't care. I dominated that niche because people just, you'd be surprised at how many people buy that type of like psychedelic, weird looking 3D blue and reds designs. But I didn't yank them all down.
Like the kind where it gives you a headache almost if you look at it too long.
Yeah, well, like the kind that you wear to like a rave or something like that.
Yeah.
Those type of designs sold excellent, but they're all like drug related, so I had to pull them down.
Neil, I just want to say that I love Merch Informer, and you are the guru. You created Merch Informer, correct?
I have a business partner. I'm more of the idea, kind of in front of the camera guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, came up with the idea forever ago because I didn't have enough time in my day. So that's kind of why we built it, was to speed things up so I could do other things instead of search Amazon for 8 hours.
Well, I know that when people will say, okay, well, what programs do you use? I always say Merch Informer is one of my favorite programs to use. But for the people that are watching that are new to merch and don't have your product, do you want to explain a little bit? Because your product does so much, and we
keep adding to it. So
you keep adding.
I guess boiling it down to the most simplistic way I can, what it does is it shows you where customers are spending your money, their money, so that you can position yourself and your products in front of that money. Just stand right in front of it with your own unique designs and make sure that there's actually an audience there. Because what I see over and over again, people message me, hey, can you look at my design? Can you check this out? Is this niche good? And I look at it and I have no idea what it is. And I ask them for some more information. And they're like, oh, well, my little third cousin, twice removed, really wanted this specific design. I'm like, that's a whole audience of one. Like, if you want to sell a bunch of shirts, you want like an audience that is actively buying. So that is essentially what it is to do, is to help you find kind of where the audience is spending their money so that you can say, okay, I know that this sub niche is really popular. There's only 4 other sellers. And now you can come to market with something unique. You price it however you want to price it at. That's a whole new discussion. But then, start getting those organic sales, which is my favorite part of merch.
Absolutely. How about we go a little into the background of how you started it? Because that was, you started it early, right? Like you got into merch early and then you started Merch Informer pretty early.
Yeah, so I got into merch maybe 1 or 2 months after it launched. It was still in the period where you could sign up and you would instantly accept it. There was no wait period.
Wow.
So I got in, and I have Photoshop because I did a lot of affiliate marketing stuff previous to this, but I didn't know how to use it. So all I knew how to do is like drag some stuff in there and maybe like enter some text. So that's what I did. I downloaded their thing, I entered some text and threw them up. And within the first week, I'd sold like 4 or 5 designs. And I was like, what? Why is someone buying this? I don't know why they're buying this, but like it worked. And I was doing FBA at the time, hated it. I know a lot of people kill it on FBA. I did not like it. So I knew merch was like a thing, so I decided to hire some designers. And as soon as I started hiring designers and building up kind of a team, I was just running out of time because I had to keep these people busy. Otherwise, they were going to leave. So I just sit on the computer 8-10 hours a day searching stuff in Amazon and opening up hundreds of different tabs, which took forever, and building spreadsheets. And then, I was in a previous business to this. I had worked with this guy, and I said, hey, I have this idea. Like, this would speed up a lot of time. We should work together on it. He's like, oh, that sounds like a great idea. Let's do it. And it took us, 6-7 months to get like a minimal thing that worked. But once it worked, then we're like, let's release and see what happens. So, and then from there, we built the account. We sold some merch businesses and decided, hey, each time, we're building this account, there's different kind of pain points and headaches. And then that's why different features start getting added. It's like, oh, we really need a way to make these spreadsheets faster. And then that's why we did the favorites. You can download them in one single button. But as we found more pain points, we added different features.
I love that. And I think that's the same thing Bree did too, right? To start VA rentals, it was the same idea. It's like you're doing it yourself. And so you're finding what we need because you're in it.
Constantly evolving too. It's like never ending project that you just want to kind of keep making better.
Yeah.
It's so true. I mean, we added the designer, and then all of a sudden they came up with PopSockets. And PopSockets are a completely different dimension. And I'm like, well, I guess now we're going to have to add that. So, go back to the drawing board, figure out how to add that tool, and figure out how to add that search function. And it just keeps building as merch kind of evolves.
And that's the excitement of it.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, that's the exciting part to me is.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how fast you adapted and got it in there and got it ready to go for everybody. Like, it's really amazing.
It's not without its faults, though. So, I mean, like, at the very beginning, I think we had, like, 3 modules in there, very bare bones. But I feel like we've listened to the community and built something I'm proud of.
Absolutely. Definitely. So, when you first found out about merch, was it because of Chris Greene, or was it some other way that you found out?
No, so I was doing FBA at the time, and I was up at all hours. It was like 5 a.m, and I'm doing conference calls with China, and I hated it. So my business partner, he sent me an article on TechCrunch. First article about merch by Amazon. He said, check this out. This sounds like it's up your alley. I looked at it. I'm reading through, and it's like, oh, they pay you. What was it back then? It was like $7-8.
Yeah,
it was 7 something, I think.
731 or something.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to talk to a single customer. That's the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life. Signed up immediately right there. Opened up Photoshop, made a few very, very crude designs and uploaded them. And it ended up working. So
that's amazing. I was wondering because I was doing FBA also, and so Chris Greene was part of the whole FBA community. And so a lot of people that were doing FBA at the time, they found out from him because he was on everybody's YouTube channels. And I signed up. You were one of them, right? Yeah. So I also signed up the same, like within the first month or 2 that it was out, and immediately got approved. But unlike you, I would just it was right. I feel like if it had come out in the summer or like the spring, I would have jumped right on it. But it came out like right during 4th quarter. So I was so busy
you were, like,
with
really busy.
I was so busy with FBA that I was just like, oh, that sounds like an amazing idea, but I don't have time to learn how to make designs. And Bree wasn't there yet. I didn't know where to buy designs. So I was just like, okay, like I knew it was a good idea, but I just put it off. And then luckily she made VA rentals before my account like timed out, because I had to upload a design before they, like some people, they ended up shutting the accounts down because they never uploaded anything. But
I think, well, see, that's another thing to talk about though, is like the community is so important. You figured out from the community about this new opportunity.
Yes.
And for me, I think part of the reason I hated FBA so much is because I jumped into private label right away. I didn't know Facebook groups were a thing. So I didn't know a single person that did FBA. My stuff was stuck in customs multiple times. Like I didn't have any resource to reach out to. And
you never took a PL course or anything?
No, I was like, let's just do this. But that's just the way I operate. I like to figure things out.
Yeah.
And it didn't work, so I moved on. But it works for a lot of people. So I don't want to trash it. I'm just saying, like, the community is such an important aspect.
Community helps a lot. And then I was part of the Greene Room, which Chris Greene was, I'm pretty sure he was on some of their shows also. And through them, I ended up meeting them to go to Vegas for the ASD conference. Okay. So it's like, then you're like in person meeting people. And yeah, community helps a lot. It really does.
Yeah, if you need a question answered, it's like, I don't even think to Google anymore. I just go into a Facebook group and ask the question.
Or a private message, like, because now you know people well enough that you can be like, hey, Amy, like, how do you do that?
And then you get those little chats going too.
Yeah.
Like people that you trust. And you're like, hey, take a look at this, rather than posting it for 60,000 people to look at.
Right. Yeah, it helps so much. So... Well, anyway, I think it's awesome that you just dove right in to start Merch Informer, and I don't even know where to begin with that. Like, it's just been evolving this whole time, and then you added the design thing, so you can make designs right in Merch Informer.
Right. Well, I think going back to the diving right in part, I feel like that's what most people in Merch need to do, and they have all these questions that hold them back that Chris likes to say they don't need the answer for. But it's so true. They're like, yeah, well, how do I do this specific thing? Who cares? Just do it. Just upload a design and see if it works. Like, just figure it out. The time spent posting in all the groups, and honestly, people that know what they're doing get a little annoyed at the same question over and over and over again, are usually going to give you a snarky response.
Yeah.
And you could have actually learned something from whatever your question was, just doing it. So, I don't know.
There was a question in the chat related to merch. I don't know if you're asking. CM Elizabeth asked, do you feel like there are still profitable niches that don't have bestsellers yet? Meaning, are there still niches to be exploited on merch that won't be found through Informer?
That won't be found?
Yeah.
No. I don't think that. But yes, I do think there's still profitable niches out there.
Yeah. That's a trick question.
We live in a world of like unlimited possibility, essentially. And I still run across niches where there's maybe 1 or 2 sellers. Now, they're not going to be flying off the shelf 50 a day, but I might put up a design, sell 1 a month. That's fine. I still make money doing that, doing nothing. I mean, aside from the first time you uploaded. So
yeah,
I'm good with that.
Because if it's profitable, it's going to show up in your database. I mean, right? Like that's the whole point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's tons of opportunities out there. I think that's the main issue though with people that are like, oh, I'm not selling very well. Aside from seasonality, right? We're kind of in the lull. I've had pretty bad sales the past few days. But aside from that, I think a lot of people, what they're doing is they find a niche, cats. They're like, oh, cat niche, right? Let's just throw a bunch of cat designs. That's so broad. Like, you have to narrow it down.
You need like a cat pinata.
Yeah, exactly. It's so much smaller. I mean, if you just type in like, I don't know, cat shirt, you probably have 100,000 results on Amazon. You're never going to get found, and you're going to be when people go to Amazon or Facebook, why am I not selling? Blah, blah, blah. You really, really have to niche down, and that takes time, which is time that people either don't want to spend, and the people who spend that time to find the won't say nugget, but to find the small niches, I think are going to be the ones who ultimately see the most profit from their shirts.
Right.
Neil, do you find that having a little bit of a background in Amazon FBA contributes to how you look at merch a little bit differently? Like, for instance, for me, and like what you just said, I'm more inclined, I think, to look at data and things, whereas someone that's new, that's like maybe an amazing artist or graphic designer is used to like really focusing on their art, and then sometimes they put it up on merch and like nothing, So I just wondered if you.
So I don't know about FBA, but I did a lot of affiliate, like ranking huge websites before I jumped into merch, and understanding the keywords and looking at like strict data. See, I don't know. It's hard. I do agree with what you said, because like, I'm so data focused, because that's how every business in the world and actual business is run, is looking at the data and the statistics and then calculating out what you need to do. But a lot of people get so attached to their designs because they spend 4 hours on it. Like, if I did that, I'd be attached too. But a design to me is it's a dollar figure that I paid someone else to do. It's not related to my time. So, and I think the people that do the best, even if they do their own designs, are willing to take a step back. Like Ken, I don't know if he's going on after me. I think he might be.
He wanted to. He wanted to. The Amy's wouldn't allow it.
Okay. But what Ken does well is he still does his own designs. But if a design bombs, he's not like, oh, I need to sell this design and upload the same style 250 more times. He goes, that didn't work, and he moves on. I think that is what people need to understand, is that figure out what's not working so that you can move on to something that does.
I always say, don't be so closely married to the design.
Yes.
Be willing to change it. Be willing to toss it if it doesn't work.
I know I do that. I will, if I see it's not selling, I'll tweak the keywords. And if it's not selling, it's gone.
I think another
design. I make my own designs. I'm like, gone.
I think I could put. Oh, sorry, Helen. Go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick, I think another obstacle, not just being attached to designs, like, because for me, I'm not attached to designs because I buy them. But what I fall into is you get busy and you feel like you're just rushing. Like, I'm like, okay, I got to upload designs. I got to do this. I got to do that. And you don't like stop and be like, okay, well, research is the most important. Let me stop and do that. Like that's the pitfall I fall into, where I just get busy and do other stuff.
What is with people? All they care about is tearing up. I don't get it. I'm
one of those people. But yeah, exactly. It's right. It's true. It's true.
Why?
Yeah. Well, that's why you're on, to teach me.
It's funny because Ken brought that up at the Rocky Mountain Reseller Conference. Like, why are people in such a hurry to tear up? And I think I can't even get all my uploads done in one day. So I'm not in a hurry, but
here's the thing.
I can tell you my rationale. It's probably wrong.
Let's hear it.
Okay, but my rationale is that I have been in some way or shape or form working with Amazon for the past 4 years. So with FBA and with different things. And Amazon changes so fast, and they tend to let people who had something keep it. So for instance, I was ungated in selling Legos and selling different things. And then new people that came on were not allowed to do that. So my rationale is like, I don't know how easy it's going to be to tier up in the future. I don't know if they're going to stop it at like tier 1000 and you can't get past it. Like, because when you first joined Amazon, you could just join. Now it's like,
that's true.
Sometimes people can't. So I'm like, what if in the future, no one can ever get to tier 10,000? So to me, I'm like, I just want to lock it in and then take a step back and be like, okay,
hold on. Why did you join Merch by Amazon though? Was it to upload a bunch of shirts, or was it to make a lot of money? Like, I think we're all here to make money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the thing, because to me, and this is what we've gone back and forth, because I'm always the one that's like, no, I wasn't. And that's probably why I probably make the least out of everyone. But it's because to me, I think of it long term, and I think of it as passive income, and I think of it as like working with Amazon, who's ever changing. So I want to get to the 10,000 so that years from now I have 10,000 shirts making income, and I can keep increasing the prices later after they've sold a lot. So that's, I don't know, that's my rationale. It's probably wrong, but
fair enough. I mean, I don't know. See, the thing is, here's the thing, right? So I see these people that are racing to tear up, and they're uploading 400 variations of the same design every day, and 399 of those end up coming down in 90 days, now 6 months. What? That doesn't help. That doesn't help anyone. It doesn't make people more money.
Yeah. I didn't do it that way. The way I did it was buy 2,000 designs from Brianna. I keep calling you Brianna. I know it's Brie, but I can't, I don't know. I just do it.
Too. It's all right.
Okay. Anyway, I bought 2,000 designs from her. So they were all different. They weren't the same at all. They were all different niches. They were all different. And then those can go on 5 products. And now we have PopSockets also. So they are all different. But yeah, it's
fair enough. Well,
I was just gonna say real quick, in reference to the people feeling like they're, just gonna cry in their Cheerios over the design not selling. I used to
cry in your Cheerios.
You like that?
Oh my god.
So I have another business I have stock video footage clips online, right? And it's a very passive business like merch. Once everything's up, cool, might sell one day, may never sell. I just looked at, because it's such a small percentage that sell. And of course, some of them sell a couple times and some of them just never, right? Sell. And I just looked at it as like, I was having so much fun filming and editing, maybe not so much the upload, but the other 2 parts of the process that it didn't bother me. You know what I mean? I had a good time. I was out in nature maybe, or some city I'm not familiar with, filming stuff. And it was just fun. So I think if people are designers, that they should focus on the process and not necessarily the end result, if that's going to bother them in that sense.
Well, see, what I find fun is that someone out in the wild that I've never met is like buying the product I just put up. Like that's the fun part for me. Right, because I'm not the one who's designing it, and I'm not the one, like, I like that people are wearing the stuff that I came up with, that someone else designed, because
that's what I like. And I couldn't even color in the lines in 3rd grade. Like the lines that I make. So that's kind of a weird thing for me. But I agree with you, Neil. That's kind of what I like about it, is that someone out there is like wearing my shirts.
Yep.
I like the idea that idea wouldn't have existed without me. It wouldn't be on a shirt without me. You know what I mean? Even though I didn't make the design and I didn't physically print it.
Right. Someone liked it enough to like search it out and buy it.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like a little, I done good.
Now, like for me, I've made all of my shirts. So, well, with the exception of maybe like 5, but I've made all of mine. And every time somebody buys it, it still floors me in the same way. Like, oh my gosh, somebody is wearing my shirt, my idea, what I've, created. And it really is a little bit of that pat on the back. It's a cool feeling, I don't get like too attached to my stuff though. I mean, there's times where I'm like, why isn't anybody giving my stuff some love? But, I let it go, because at the end of the day, it's about making money. And
well, I think that same feeling though is why people feel so bad when their stuff doesn't sell. They're like, wow, I created this and
they take it.
No one wants it. Like,
everybody hates me and I'm not talented.
If people would keep in mind, like, for instance, like I did a lot of Shopify and I did print on demand on Shopify and I ran Facebook ads. And I mean, you're really doing like the average if you are like a 1% store. So 1% conversion rate. If, 100 people come to your store, you're lucky you get that one sale, right? If I did my math right. But I mean, it's so small. And I think people forget, like when they're in the smaller tiers, that you really, I said it like, I don't know if it was today or one of my other Power Punch videos. I said that it really took to like tier 1000 before I could see enough data to be like, oh, this is the kind of stuff that was probably good to keep, putting up and keep selling.
Right.
Thousands.
Exactly.
It takes thousands, That's just the way it is in print on demand, I feel.
Well, the 80, I don't know about you, 80-20 rule. I feel like that applies pretty closely to my sales. 20% end up doing the majority of the work there.
And that's really encouraging to hear, because I think that's pretty accurate for me too. Yeah. And I mean, you put up 100 designs and only 20 of them sell. It's kind of disheartening, but at the same time, it's like, that's actually, sorry, that's really encouraging and promising, because yeah, the 80-20, it seems to apply well. I'm sorry.
They're really on the 80-20 part.
Yeah,
we're excited.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just a life principle, and not even just so much, well, maybe more business, but every business I've done, that's the case.
Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
I think with print on demand, it's such a huge difference sometimes. Like if you put up 1,000 shirts, you're pretty much like in the norm if I don't know, 10 to 50 of them sell, even somewhat consistently.
Right, but I think there's also Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's part of this. So when you're answering, somebody in the Facebook group asked, like, what is normal to expect, like when you first start or when you're under tier 500, like what is like an average amount of daily sales or weekly sales? So it kind of goes with that 80-20. Like if you only have 100 shirts up, how many do you think you'll be selling a week?
I think it's tougher, the 80-20 rule in the lower tiers, actually. I mean, that you don't have like Neil's talking data, and I don't think you have enough of that to go on in the small tiers. So I
don't think you should. I think you should focus on trends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you throw the spaghetti up, right?
Yeah, if you have 10 slots available, and you put up a cat T-shirt, you're never going to sell it, and you're going to be disappointed. But if you have 10 slots available and you put up 10, I don't know, what's the next holiday coming up? Halloween?
Halloween, yeah.
Yeah, 10 Halloween shirts, and you make them all unique and make sure they're good. That one T-shirt design could sell 150, and all of a sudden, boom, you're tiered up to 500.
Now, quick example, when you say Halloween shirt, if you wanted them to go deeper, like give an example of like a couple of niches they could dive into and combine.
Halloween shirt.
Like sub niches?
Yeah.
I don't know. Halloween candy corn for, I don't know, kids dressed as cats. I mean, you have to look at the data. I'm not
right
in front of me.
I like to combine them too, like do like Halloween, directed for, I don't know, nurses.
Right, exactly.
Profession.
Right.
And if you can get something that's trending, I mean, if you take Halloween and, I don't know, put in some politics in there, that stuff usually does really well if you can get it to the front page. But
I think combining with something like you said, trending, like something you see on Twitter. I mean, it's Pride Month, which is kind of, not really Halloween, but you could take something that's already kind of trending a lot and then put it together.
Exactly, and mash it together, and then you throw it up. And if it doesn't work, that's fine. Try something else.
Right.
But if it does work, then, I mean, you're going to be rewarded. You're going to get out of those small tiers. And now you can start doing some stuff with Evergreen. And then you can look at the data. Because once you have the data, it's so easy. I mean, you go through and you're like, okay, today I sold this many shirts. You go through, okay, this many niches. And then you can take a second look at those niches and say, oh, so this sub-niche did well, this sub-niche did well. Okay, let's put 20 to 50 more designs in these sub-niches. And then all of a sudden, you put up 50 designs, and because it's such a sub-niche that you've identified as actually profitable, and you come up with good stuff, 20 of them sell out of 50, now you're making a lot more money in the same niche you're already in because you understand it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is that like kind of a good round number if, say, you were at tier 1,000 or above, to throw another 50 up on top of that?
If you have the slots, I say just do it.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't have the slots, it's really, really hard to hit a niche like that. But if you do, I mean, I don't really see a downside to them. You can always remove them if you need the room. But one point I was going to make before we got into that is I think it really matters that the designs are good. Because a lot of the time I see from a lot of people in the groups, or they show me their pictures, and I'm like, I'm sorry, that's bad. It's just bad. I mean, a lot of these are bad, and that's fine if you're not a designer. My stuff's bad. You should see the stuff that I make. Terrible. It's terrible. But it has to be good because, I mean, you were talking about passive income earlier. If your stuff isn't good now, people are going to blow by you as the quality increases and more competition comes. But if you make sure your stuff's good now, you're going to continue selling into the future, and you'll actually get the data you need. But I think it's really important that you have quality stuff.
And I think people have to take time to educate themselves on what makes a quality design, because not everyone has an eye for it, you know?
Right.
True.
Yeah.
You
One
know?
thing I noticed recently, and I guess I was sort of learning this in the back of my mind, but didn't put 2 and 2 together, was like, don't use too many fonts on one design because it looks cluttered, it looks bad. I don't care what the niche is. I think anytime you do this, it just results in like not a good design.
I don't think I have any shirts that have more than, say, 3.
Okay.
Or like 2 or 1.
Isn't that the golden rule of graphic design? Like, I have no idea.
Not sure.
Like, I've heard a lot that you don't want to go past like 3 fonts.
There was a graphic designer that commented on our one of our YouTube videos, and according to him, you can never use more than 2. So I don't know.
Okay.
I
kind of think 2 is good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not listening to people is sometimes beneficial.
Yeah.
I found that to be true when it comes to pricing. That's just me.
So what do you do with pricing? Why don't we go into that topic?
Oh boy. What do I do with pricing?
Nobody wants to talk about that.
You don't have to.
I want to talk about it because
right, you go first.
I'm a big fan of y'all's your blog
Okay.
and the little case studies that you have done.
Yeah.
So I've been playing around with some of the nuggets that have been dropped in there. So I want to hear all about this.
It's okay. So, grand scheme of things, all the shirts on Amazon, the average price is nowhere near $19.99. I don't know where people got it in their heads that is such a great price to sell at. It makes more money, but I like to do volume for 2 reasons. 1, it makes me decent money. I'm not complaining. And 2, if you do volume, you stand a better chance at getting reviews, which I think is pretty much the most important part of like the longevity of your design. Because if you get those reviews, you're going to keep selling that design forever because you outrank anyone who comes in that niche. You're still going to be first or above them because they don't have any of the reviews. You have that social proof. You have those sales. But in order to get the reviews, I mean, something like less than 1% probably leaves them. I'm not sure of the actual data. But in order to do the volume you need to get that single review, you need to move more product. So it's really hard if you sell one shirt at $19.99 and then a month goes by and you sell one more shirt at $19.99 and then another month goes by. Like, I'd rather sell 5 shirts at $14.99 and make the same amount of money, but I'm doing that volume.
I 100% agree with that. And we talked about pricing a few episodes back, and I said almost word for word that. So part of my like going for 10,000 and stuff is because it is quantity. So, you know, I'm all about quantity because it makes a huge difference. If you like, to me, I'm thinking of this long term. Like, it's not about the money right now for me, which, you know, I have to be careful because then my cash flow gets messed up. And, you know, I really should have it be about the money right now to make sure I can keep everything going. But I mean, the most important thing to me is building those sales, because not only, even if you don't get the reviews, which you will get the reviews eventually if you sell enough, but even if you don't, just having that many sales per month makes your shirt rank higher. And then if your shirt ranks higher, it makes a huge difference. So it's like, if like the goal of having 10,000 kind of helps me keep on track, making sure I'm selling 10,000 shirts, because if I can sell that many, it's going to help long term. Like, it might not help me right this second. Like, you know, maybe I should be focusing on something else. But I think long term, if you can get your shirts ranked and reviewed, it helps a lot.
Well, you mentioned something about it's not about the profit, and I don't know if I saw this in a comment or someone messaged me, but someone said something along the lines of like, the longer I can make zero money, like the less competition I'm going to have. And that's exactly what merch is and what Amazon is. I mean, that's what Amazon did. They undercut everyone until no one else was in the game, and then now they're making incredible profit.
Yeah.
They're just dominating the space.
I always think like that, but then I'm like, okay, Helen, like you're not independently wealthy. Like eventually I have to care about profit. So
You got $1 billion company.
I'm right on that. I was trying to make it to fourth quarter before I worried about money, but I might have to start raising my prices this summer.
And then but you can start like October. I mean, or
I mean, all last year it was not about money. I bought all the designs and was selling them just to get sales and ranking and reviews. And a lot of my shirts have reviews now. Like it did help. It did matter.
Well, see, once they have reviews, then you can start bumping them. That's what I do. So I'll start bumping them up $1 at a time. And if they don't slow down, they keep going up to $1, up to $19.99. I'm not going to go above that because the data says that's a really dumb thing to do. So that's my max. But before that, I'll do volume. As soon as it gets that review, start bumping it up. Gets another review, bumps up more.
And that's still a practice that you're doing today with the designs that you are uploading, say this morning. You're going to price them low. You're going to sit back. You're going to wait. And once they start gaining reviews and momentum, you're going to slowly increase. Okay.
So in the very beginning, so when I first joined and everyone was pricing at $19.99 and the royalty structure was a little bit different, I'd price every single thing I put up at $14.99. I still made over $4 a shirt. I thought that was great because I pay under that or at that for a design. So I was like, it's a zero-sum game. As long as I can sell it once to someone, I actually make 28 cents, I think it was. So I thought about it.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Are you doing the same thing with PopSockets right now?
No. See, no, I'm not. I don't.
$14.99 a PopSocket?
Yeah, because there's zero competition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Before when I started, there's a lot of shirts on Amazon and yada yada yada. But now there's like literally no competition. I'll type in, cat PopSocket, right? And if you did that right when they came out, you might see 10 of them.
I sold a unicorn PopSocket, and I'm like, that's a big
niche.
Yeah, that's a hard niche, and I didn't niche down at all. I just put unicorn PopSocket pretty much, and it sold. So I mean, it is pretty wide open right now.
So basically, right now with the PopSockets, the good idea is to just price at $14.99.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
That's what I'm doing. I don't know if it's a good idea. I guess we'll see. But
okay, well, that's not what I've been doing. So
it's
what have you been doing?
Are you going lowball?
A little bit. $12.99, 87 cents a PopSocket. But I have sold a couple at $14.99. So
might as well if the market is like not saturated,
Basically, I was kind of going at it like I want to get a nice BSR and then I'll go back up. But
here's my thing. I was like, if I have the time, I'm going to sit down and upload as many as possible now at $14.99 when the market is completely open. And then later, let's say like, I don't know, 6 months from now, I'm going in, I'm trying to put up a cat design in a PopSocket form. Now I might decide to go down a little bit because now everyone's had the chance to get up there and put their designs.
Yeah.
Glad I asked. Okay, thank you.
I think Amy, just try it and see. Like the only reason to price lower is if it makes you sell more of them. So right now there's not enough competition that like it probably won't help you sell more to have it be lower.
Well, with Neil, like, I'm sorry, I'm not a stalker or anything. I've just read a lot of stuff.
Stalker alert.
You like to go in on those niches that people are buying. So you like to go in where it's busy. So pricing down. It makes sense with the PopSockets versus t-shirts.
That's where the money is. Yeah. That's where the money is, and I like to chase where people are spending a lot of it. Because
now, how are you doing your research with PopSockets?
Currently, I'm not doing much of anything. I just resize them all.
Okay.
So all my shirts, and I'm just throwing that up. Plus, I'm throwing up just patterns. Now, once I have all my stuff actually up, which is going to take me who knows how long, then I'm going to start doing research on them and looking at specific patterns or what specific type of. Like, I don't really know what sells well on a PopSocket. I'm just throwing stuff against the wall that I already have. Because I might as well repurpose what I paid for.
Yeah. Neil, are you focused on like ones that I've already sold as a shirt or just everything? Okay.
Everything. Because here's the thing. A lot of people that I'm friends with on like Skype or something, they're like, oh, look at this shirt that's never sold for me. And I've sold like 10 of these PopSockets.
Wow.
I was thinking that too. Like some of the shirts actually looked a lot better on PopSockets. Or they're like funny enough that people might not really want to wear it as a shirt, but as a PopSocket, it's like it's cool, it's funny, it's a joke, you know?
Yeah. What do you think? Should we be going all in right now with PopSockets and kind of putting t-shirts on the back burner for a bit, or a little bit of both?
All PopSockets.
All
because
PopSockets.
there's no competition.
PopSockets all day, every day.
All day, all day.
Right. Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Fill your slots.
Or are you just saying that so everybody will do PopSockets as you're like loading all the shirts?
He's like, I got them all.
I mean, the thing is, you get a lower royalty, but if there's a market there that no one's competing in, which is kind of where we're at right now,
Right.
Because to my understanding, there's PopSocket, the brand, and Amazon is the only company that is like licensed to print their branded products. From my understanding,
that's what I've been researching too, which is really promising and really exciting too for us right now.
Well, right, and it means they're going to dominate the market. So I want to be right there when they do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's printing T-shirts. You can go anywhere and everywhere and buy a T-shirt.
And now the only people you have to worry about stealing your stuff are other merchers.
Yeah.
So
I know there's people listening that don't have PopSockets yet. We did
You'll
a poll. We did a poll in the Facebook group, and it was like the vast majority do not have it yet. So
I didn't get them in the first wave.
I didn't get them first wave even.
I didn't
did.
either.
It was awful. I was watching all my friends upload them. Oh, look, I sold like 15 of these. I'm like, 15? I don't have a single. I don't even have that drop down.
Were you crying in your Cheerios, Neil?
I was crying in my Cheerios. I really wanted them.
I was too.
I checked 50 times
getting
to see.
I refreshed over and over again too.
I kept saying, "Do I have it? Crap, I don't." You know, I just kept doing that. Oh, it drove me crazy. Y'all, when I saw that I finally got them on my account, I probably did 3 backflips. Just kidding. I can't do those.
I was just going to see that, Amy. I want to see that.
I want to see that video.
It was
Good
funny.
luck.
My girlfriend got accepted to PopSockets before I did.
What?
She uploaded one and sold one in like 35 minutes.
Oh,
It was so quick. And then I'm sitting there at the computer like, I don't have them enabled. I'm just like shocked. I've never seen a shirt sell that. Well, I have, but I have a lot of shirts. That was like the first 10 PopSockets that put up. One sold in like 30 minutes.
Nice.
wow.
So I think it's a big opportunity there.
Yeah, I kind of thought because it was like a 2-day window before I sold one, and I had put up maybe 50. And I always think in terms of like 50 with Amazon because I do Amazon and Shopify, and I'm like, I'm gonna throw up 50 of this and see how it goes, you know. And so I was like, I'm gonna do 50 PopSockets. We'll see how it goes. And then a sale 2 days later, I'm like, this is a good sign. This is a really good sign, you know. And I'm just like, let's go PopSockets, hardcore.
Which is funny because they put up, because everyone's probably bitching and moaning and sending in emails to them. They put up a thing that said they need to take 3 days to index. Like 3 days, she just sold in 30 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know where the disconnect is, but
Yeah, I'm already finding a few too that are uploading a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Right. So who knows what that message was. That message is probably to tell people to stop emailing us.
Well, everybody's so busy checking to see if their keywords are indexed right now.
Right.
And, you know, and they're like, it's all red. Amazon, what the heck is this? And it's like, calm the heck down. You know, it's a brand new thing. Just give it a minute.
Yeah.
Info,
But, you know, like we were talking about earlier, people get attached to their designs, their t-shirts. We're attached to our PopSockets. We realize that right now, like Neil was saying, is the prime time to get in. So it's like, why aren't they selling? They should be selling. Why isn't this selling, Amazon? Why isn't this indexed? Shut up.
Right.
Give it a few days.
Yep.
Info Planet asked if you think it's a fad or will it last long term like a t-shirt?
See, I was talking to Ken about this because I'm like, I don't really. Where's mine? So he printed me one. Here's mine on my phone.
Oh,
Before they came out, and I'm thinking to myself, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. Until I put it on my phone, and then all I do is fidget with it. Like,
That's what I
it's
do.
the
all
next
the
fidget spinner.
time. So I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't know if this is just a fad, or the more I think about it, it's actually functional. You can set your phone up like this, and you can hold it. I think it's more of an accessory.
Oh, you just gave me an idea. They need to add like a fidget spinner on the end of it.
I thought I saw one in the mall that had a
great
spinning
stuffing stuffer. This for on Amazon. I think this is going to be a great Q4 item.
Q4 is
Now,
huge.
here's the funny thing. So I've been reading up on PopSockets, and last year before Christmas, there was an article about how PopSockets were going to be the stocking stuffer of the year. Well, I'm not so sure if that happened last year, but that might be the case for us this year. So I think it's going to be like, what was I saying to y'all? A Mary Poppin' Q4?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it probably.
I didn't have any idea how like popular these things were.
I think it was a big stocking stuffer last year, and like in my opinion, of like everybody that I've seen, it's people that are like 21 and under, and then the moms of those people. So those are the two groups. That's it. And everybody that's not one of those two groups doesn't know what it is. But it's really
you're gonna catch on. Yeah.
That's the 49-year-old who has one. I'm the mother of those kids.
Exactly. But and you love them. And I think that the other people are going to get it. Cause like I'm 35, like my whole group of people are not really the first wave of this, but once I have it, I mean, I'm sure I'll use it and like it. So
well, I saw this one thing the other day. Somebody bought 2 PopSockets, put it on the back of their phone and wrapped their earbuds around it. I was like, that's flipping genius.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Now that's a functional use I would enjoy.
Me too.
You know,
I mean, they're multi-purposeful too. So
I would assume that the seasonal ones might sell really well because I'm someone that I'm wearing all black right now. I don't wear any color and I don't wear much for design. So like seasonal t-shirts, I'm not big into that for myself, but I would totally get PopSockets for every season and, have different ones on the back of my phone. So that's
see, I need to buy one because I need to find out like how interchangeable are these? Like, can you just easily replace one with the other?
Yeah,
and
yes, you can.
You can.
My second one. Yeah,
that's good.
Okay,
that is good.
Because I've heard people might be using them to collect. Like they want to have different ones, different like seasonal, like you said, Brie, or like maybe it's kind of like women with purses and they want it to match their outfit.
I've heard that teens like to trade them with their friends. So that's cool.
Sometimes your nails. I know that sounds weird, but like matching
your nails. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. I don't know which one of you asked me about researching them. So I take back what I said. I did look on Etsy. Okay. It's very popular to sell stickers that you can just put on the back of these PopSockets for like $4 or $5.
Gotcha.
I haven't looked at anywhere that'll actually like make those for me yet, but I think that might be something I'll look into. But people buy these stickers instead of the whole PopSocket, and they just put it on the back to like
put the sticker over it.
Yeah, they just put a sticker on it.
So you only have to buy one base, basically.
Exactly. So
that's kind of smart. I mean, and there's so many print on demands that are known for their stickers, like Redbubble. So going into Q4, stickers. With that in mind, not a bad idea.
I have a question for you guys. One, who is selling on Redbubble? You are okay. And do you use a VA for Redbubble?
No.
Yeah,
I have trust issues, so no.
And you haven't had any issue?
I haven't, but I'm not like uploading tons of stuff either. I'm lucky if I get 3 or 4 new designs a week. So.
I had an issue with my first account. And I want to say I was the only person that logged into that account. And they just
let me pause for 1 second. Michelle just messaged me saying that somebody said that we don't have sound. Can everybody hear us? Can you guys type in the chat if you can hear us?
That would be bad. People watching.
Well, I can hear y'all.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, people have put a few comments, so I think that they can hear us.
Okay, so yeah, I just got a PM, so I just panicked and just.
I just want to make sure because that would be really bad.
You're good.
Okay, good. Continue. Sorry, guys.
Man, that would suck because y'all just missed like crazy nuggets.
Yeah,
I know. And I forgot what we were talking about. We got to move on.
Redbubble. Well, with Redbubble, yeah, they just banned my account for like no reason. Didn't tell me why. Just shut it down. Was like, here's your last commissions. Goodbye. And when I tried to find out what happened, no response. I sent like multiple emails, and then I went into like a Redbubble Facebook group, and people were very sympathetic, but nobody was in there from Redbubble, of course, that could help me or direct me. And I've heard of it happening recently to more people than just shutting your account.
So my girlfriend's got a pretty decent account by all accounts, on merch. And I was like, okay, let's take your designs and spread them out. Oh, great idea. So opened a Redbubble account, hired a VA. The VA uploaded like 20 designs and they banned her. They didn't tell her why. She emailed 4 times.
They won't answer.
Finally got a response.
Finally, 4.
You violated the policy, like our content policy, or their usual whatever the agreement is.
Right.
Absolutely nothing. Don't open a new account. Like, what? So
That's
I'm not a huge fan of Redbubble.
Yeah, I mean they are.
And y'all think that's because of VAs?
It didn't happen to me with the VA. Like I said, I think I just was the only person in my account when I had the first one.
Well, now, did you get back on there?
Is that what?
Yeah.
PLS that you know what I mean? Like when you have an account, does it say somewhere that it's only the account owner that can access it, or maybe are they looking at?
I didn't see that.
Speed at which things are uploading? Maybe, I don't know.
It could be. I mean, it was like 20 or 25 designs, and all it was we had another VA make a huge spreadsheet of each design on Amazon. The link to the design in the folder, the bullet points, and the title. So all the VA had to do is copy and paste, and somehow that violated something on Redbubble.
It might have been the speed then. Some of these print-on-demand marketplaces, they're flagging accounts for the speed at which the files, because they want the quality to be maintained, and they don't want us using bulk uploading software. Like they don't want it to turn into like.
That's kind of what I was wondering, if it had to do with all the noise about the different bulk uploaders, and if that's why they're like on alert. Which that's. I mean, how can you do that though if you're not for sure? I don't know.
And they not even give you a clear explanation as to what you violated.
Well, it was because she sells on Etsy too, and I was like, okay, why don't you reach out to Printful and just ask them before you have the VA start uploading there? If it's okay. And they got back to her right away. I think they have like live chat. Of course, you can have your employee from another country log in. That's fine.
Yeah, and Etsy is completely okay with it as long as you disclose every person touching the account in the shop member section.
Right.
So people that skip that get their account banned.
Right.
So do you think that the upload time should be random? Monte was wondering the upload speed.
To Redbubble, I don't know. I have like 2 shirts on Redbubble. I don't really sell there.
Okay.
So I'm just dealing with kind of her experience, which has been nothing but poor. She hired a VA. She logged in, set up the account, had him upload about 20 to 25 designs, and she's at work and she gets a text from her VA like, "Hey, the account has been banned." So that's really
man,
short run there.
That's a bummer too. After you put all the time into it, it's like
I would be so pissed off, and especially if it's like, can you be clear? Answer my damn email.
Yeah. The fact that they ignore. I mean, I probably was just missed the magic number of 4. I probably sent 3 emails, and then they just were like, "We're just not talking to you." So,
but you got back on, no problem.
Yeah, what I did was I was just like, well, whatever, and I went off and did my own thing. And then like a year later, I was like, I'm just going to open another account. So I just put like a different email and a different banking. Yeah. I mean, they haven't even said nothing. I really only have like 50 something up because I just, the upload process is so horrendous. I didn't want to do it. I wasn't ready to pay a VA for that platform yet, but I think I will for Q4.
You know what upload process is great is TeePublic.
Oh yeah,
it's so good. Easy. Like Amazon should take a hint or two from their upload process. It's so simple.
Title, tags, boom.
How many pods are you on, Neil?
I mean, really just one. I sell a little bit on Etsy. I sell a little bit. I have a few on Redbubble, a few on TeePublic, but all my time is spent where the money is, which is on Amazon.
Yeah,
that's where 99% of the traffic is. So that's kind of where I spend my time. Now, that's not to say I don't. I wanted to this year kind of expand that because I have all these designs. I might as well use them, but I've kind of been slacking in that department.
Yeah. Neil, where do you see merch going? Like, do you see for Amazon? Do you see a lot more products in the future? Do you still see it being as big as it is? In your opinion, where do you see merch going in the future?
A lot bigger. I think their goal is. I don't want to say what their goal is. I think they are going to end up destroying a lot of these other smaller PODs because they can't compete.
Yeah.
At least with, like Teespring, right? you had people that have to run Facebook ads, and even then that stopped being profitable for some reason or another. But with Amazon, you have the customer base there. They're all over the world. I can see it being international. You know, multiple more products coming. I mean, why not? If it's going to make Amazon money and they can print them.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be huge. I don't.
Well,
think
doesn't Amazon just come into the market only with that intention? They're not going to come in and just play in the waiting pool. You know what I mean? They're going to like dominate everything.
You think, right? But the program started for not us. It started for app developers.
Yeah.
And then they noticed, like, whoa, we have barely any app developers working on this platform. It's all people like us.
And I did a post, you know, thanking Chris Greene, but I want to add to that because when it first came out, like when we both signed up, it said app developers. So if I had looked at it myself, I would have just passed it. Like I totally thought it had nothing to do. Like I didn't think that I was able to sign up, but he like carefully explained, like, I know it says app developers, but we can all apply. And I was like, oh, like I had no idea.
Remember that column in there to run ads on like an app?
Yeah.
So I actually had a few apps back at in the time. So I had to like translate them in order to put them on the Amazon store. And I tried it. I tried putting their like, as what it's called, SDK inside and like selling a t-shirt. Didn't work at all. It was like I wasted a bunch of time. Like, this is awful, but I was selling organically, so I wasn't really complaining. But
yeah,
I think they definitely had to refocus. When they came into the market, I don't really think they knew what they were doing. I mean, they had an idea.
No, they had no idea.
That's true.
What they were doing.
They didn't really. I don't think they imagined like what it was going to turn into at all.
I don't think so either. And I think they still haven't, but I feel like eventually they will because it's so wide open and there's so many products that could use this. And Amazon has the resources to make it so big. So hopefully,
I think they're starting to figure it out.
They're starting to.
Well, I think they have it figured out. I think now it's just a matter of like time and resources. Because in order to like print and ship this stuff, you have to build the facility, train the workers, and buy the printers.
Yeah.
And that's like a lot, especially if you're going to try to go international. Now you have to build stuff overseas. You know, there's different international laws, and that stuff takes time. Which we're all impatient. We all want to sell now, but
yeah,
I could see it being at some point, who knows how many years in the future, that every warehouse would potentially have a printer there to ship out for free same-day orders.
I could see that.
Why not? I mean, once they get the system down and they were like, okay, this is what we need to do for every single warehouse we want to put one in. You know, like if it's in your state, typically they offer the same day.
Well, when we were in Seattle, they were actually talking about, you know, going from order to print in like under an hour.
Wow.
I don't remember exactly what they said, but like that was their goal is to they get an order, it goes through, it's printed, it's shipped 40 minutes or something, you know, get it out of the house. We don't want to see it, but we want to get it fulfilled as
once they get their robots in place, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's awesome. So you went and saw a facility and everything and talked to Amazon or talked to Merch?
No. Ken went to look at the facility, but
okay.
I'm talking. There was a conference in Seattle.
Oh, the licensing thing.
No. That was in
a year ago, right?
A year ago in Seattle, and we had some special guests that talked to us.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, I wasn't there, unfortunately.
Did you apply for that merch collab?
I did. I'm still waiting. Like,
yeah. I'm still waiting too. I haven't heard anything.
You know what kind of sucks though is, back it up. There was a program called Fan Art. It's what Merch Collab is now, and they were personally inviting people, right? So Melissa, my girlfriend, got an invite for it, and it allowed you to upload like your artwork and your sketches and like actual evidence that you knew what you were doing. So it was great. And she finally got around to doing it, and then they're like, "Oh, you need to apply for a collab." Collab or whatever you're gonna call it. And the collab thing is like one little box. Like, why do you want to design for us?
I know.
Like, no, you can't attach your like examples, or because like I have an illustrator working for me. I can just say like, hey, give me 10 sketches. I'll show them 10 sketches. Like, hey, look, I know exactly what's going on here, but you can't really show that.
Darn.
But we'll see. I'm interested to see like how that platform kind of grows. because it has to grow hand in hand with the brands. Like if they're not bringing enough brands on board, they're not going to have enough
I feel like
designers.
it could be so big. Because what brand? I mean, I feel like a lot of brands would want to work with Amazon. I mean, why not? So.
Especially when they see fans putting up or attempting to put up copycats on merch. Like sometimes you'll see people will put stuff in that's totally trademarked, that's a ripoff of someone's brand. And you know, for instance, I mean, that's kind of what Rhett and Link did. I mean, they said, yeah, we had fans that was uploading stuff to Amazon that's not our brand, but based on Good Mythical Morning. So it was another reason why that they kind of lended their brand to that merch collab.
Well, and another thing is too, on the other side, if you're not a brand and you're not, I wouldn't consider myself a designer by any means. I think most people aren't designers. I think what they're really going for is the people that, you know, if a brand says, I like that idea, but I want this, this, and this, then you can go and like actually sketch it out.
Right.
And I think that's going to like, I don't know, make a lot of people in the community kind of upset because they're like, I want a chance to do that. But I think Amazon is more focused on the actual designer that can kind of create these products handmade almost, if you will, for the brands. But we'll see.
Nice.
Well, we're getting to have it be over an hour. So, Neil, did you want to say anything more about your blog or how people can find Merch Informer or
people should read the blog, which most people don't. So they should
read it.
Thank you.
No, I read it. No, seriously, your blog has been an incredible resource for me, almost just as much so as Merch Informer itself. So that blog, y'all, gold.
Well, I put a lot of work into like writing out those stupid long articles, and then to have people like not even read past the first sentence and then ask a question. I'm like,
if it makes you feel any better, I literally have like a notebook full of notes just from your blog. So
that's crazy.
Oh, I love your blog.
That's awesome.
Don't stop writing.
Yeah, and Neil,
and the case studies, like, do more of those. I'll be a case study. You want,
anytime
something else?
Will you? See, we kind of like finished that though, so I don't know what's
next.
You
need a new one.
You need a new target.
You definitely need Amy to be a case study.
No.
All right, we'll talk.
We'll see.
Monty Whirl says he loves your blogs. Helped his friends and family as well.
Yeah. Awesome. And anytime you make a new blog post, just post it in our group.
Okay.
Get more people to look at it.
I think people forget that you have it.
Yeah. I mean, and guys, the blog is linked in the description. So definitely make sure you click on it and save it.
Yeah, definitely.
And if there's anything I should write about, because I kind of run out of ideas sometimes, let me know.
Oh, do a poll. That's what Amy Nicholas does all the time for her videos. She does a poll in the group. Like she puts a couple different ideas. So anytime if you want to put a poll in the group of what people are looking for, it helps a lot.
Perfect.
Can I ask for a feature for Merch Informer?
We have a long list of stuff we're working on, but sure.
All right. So y'all's Shakers and Movers is wonderful. Can I have a heart button though?
A what button?
A heart button. So I can favorite that
favorites
thing.
Button. That is in the list.
Okay.
It's in the list. Nice. I don't know how far down it is, but we have a really long like spreadsheet going.
We got Ken Reel on the show.
Hi, Ken.
Feel selfish.
What's up, Ken?
Ken, I got some special words for you later.
Oh, man. Ken said that he wanted to go after you so that he could correct everything you say wrong.
I know. He was screenshotting me all those as you guys were talking.
He's like, I need to go after Neil.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
My goodness.
Anyway, well, we really appreciate you coming on. This has been a lot of fun.
You're such a nice guy. You really
There was
are.
one other question that was kind of way back up. Hang on a second. Someone asked about the quality. Dana asked about the quality of the PopSockets.
Oh, they're good. I have dropped this phone more than I can even remember, and it's still hanging on just fine. I have never taken it off.
I can't wait to get a Merch Money one. I really want to do the contest, but nobody has access yet, so I have to wait. But oh my gosh, I'm going to be rocking that Merch Money PopSocket everywhere.
All you're going to do is just fiddle with it. You're going to pop it in and pop it out over and over again.
Yeah.
So addictive.
Guys, start thinking of ideas because oh my gosh, I want it. So, anybody have anything else to say or add? Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Neil.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thanks
Neil.
for Merch Informer.
And
Thanks
anytime that
for
you,
everything.
yeah, anytime that you have an update with Merch Informer, I mean, just let us know. We can always let everybody know, or maybe have you back on the show, or whatever you want.
Cool.
So
All right, it's gonna be real soon, by the way.
awesome,
Yay.
awesome. And if you ever want to do
Q4 talk.
if you ever want to do a giveaway, we're doing a big giveaway for when we hit 1,000 subscribers. By the way, guys, subscribe. We always forget to say that. Please subscribe. And then also for Facebook group,
Hit the bell. You gotta tell them to hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
But for Facebook, we might have hit it during this show. We were only a few people away from hitting 2,000, so we're gonna be doing a big giveaway for that. We already have several giveaways lined up, so
Count me in on that. Count me in
What?
on that. I said, count me in on that. We'll talk.
Yay! Thank you. Oh my gosh, guys, that is like huge. So I really appreciate that.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, thank you all for watching. We had so many people watching the whole time, so thank you, Neil. You must have brought some people along. But all right, guys, have a good night.
Have a good night.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Oh no, we won't see you next week. July 2nd, we're off, but the following Monday we'll be there. Have a wonderful 4th of July, everyone, and we'll be back the following week.
Good night.
All right, good night. Bye.